addition to the Brownsville and 2, you also have the Gods Have Arrived project with Sadat X. So that one is another one that just shows your prolific nature, and you're steadily putting out, high quality material. So with that, how did you get with Sadat to do the project?
Well, I've known Dottie for about 20 plus years. Back in the days, I used to bump into Dot when I was Adolf the Assassin running around in, lower New Manhattan. Had all the clubs like Kilimanjaro. I would be at Wetlands, everywhere. And Brand Nubian was, out at this time. I didn't have a deal at this time. My deal came a little bit after. But I was on the underground scene, battling every rapper that I could possibly, and I was making a name for myself. And I was at Lyricist Lounge. He was doing all this, and I would see Dot everywhere. Me and Dot got real cool to the point where we would hang out just to smoke blunts and build. You know what I mean? And he knew I was 5% Nation of Islam, and I knew he was 5%. So we were building. Me and the guard, we would chop it up. I was living uptown. When I was doing Purple City, I was rocking with Dipset for a minute. Everybody, they familiar with my work with Dipset. I was living in Harlem, and Dot lived down the block from me. And we was like, oh shit, you live down here? It was like he come to my spot or I go to his spot. We burn it, chill, chop it up, go some parties, whatever, rapper shit. So at the end of the day, I started doing records with Dot. We would do a single here, single there, be dope joints. I'm like, damn, shit. We need to do an album. First it was an EP. And I was like, it's an EP, I'm gonna do the beats. He was like, let's go, Ag. I'm ready. Because he heard what I was doing with the albums, and he was like, yeah, I'm ready. I was like, all right, let's do it. So, about 2 months ago, I started sending him beats. And he would send me back verses. And I was like, all right, should sound crazy, just spitting this. Started going on my pen heavy. When I heard him send me back what I heard, I said, yo, this is a different Sadat X. This is a hungrier Sadat X. When I heard him say, listen, man, I ain't just rapping to be rhyming no more, man. I got to say some shit. When I heard it, and he said that on the verse, when I heard that, I said, that really is not the same Sadat. That this is a different Sadat. This is a hungry Sadat. This is a baby on the way Sadat. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to him having his daughter. You know what I'm saying? He just had his daughter. And but yeah, Dot basically, man, just gave it. This project is all lyrically. For me, he made my job easy. I'm gonna just stand that. I'm gonna say that. And I knew we hit it on the money. By the fifth record, when we were in, I said we got something. And then Matty C, he produced that Cool V shit. And Matt gave me the beat. Matt was surfing. Matt was out surfing and shit. So Matt gave me the beat, and I was like, all right, this shit dope. Let me just get this for me and Dot. He gave it to me, and then when I did that with Dot, and I sent it to DJ Premier started spinning. I was like, yo, I think we got something here. And I started seeing a lot of people, on social media come back at me saying to me, yo, this is one of the best projects you're doing right now. I can't wait for y'all to drop it. This is hip hop. This is what hip hop needs right now. And a lot of that kind of comment and just doubled back and just kept going. So I was proud. I was just proud that I was able to get something done with him. And not only that, just able to, do something with a legacy artist of his nature.
Absolutely.
A lot of people may not know who I am, but they will this year. That's what I feel like this year. the door's starting to open up to a household name, knowing who Agallah the Don is, Adolf the Assassin. To many hip hop heads known, but the doors are opening.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorites on The Gods Have Arrived is the Praise the Lords, because that one, yes, Greg Nice, but the thing about it was a lot about Sadat's like religious evolution lyrically. That to me was really impressive that he, really took it there lyrically on that song. So for you as a producer, when you see an artist go that deep into their personal life like that, what does that mean for you as a producer?
Well, my reaction to that was basically, the God is definitely going through some things. He had to get some things off his chest. That usually, doesn't pertain to music. Just pertains to who you are, where you're getting older. We're getting older. We're not getting any younger. And that's just the thing about life. You learn how to take care of yourself, being more strict, vigilant on your mindset and how you living. We can't even do shows, and we just, really trying to cope with this whole COVID thing, you know what I mean? And it's not easy. And how certain people taking it, everybody's not the same mentally. This tests your mental stamina, this COVID thing, and he has to work a job, he works a job still. He's not, we're not rich. We're rich in wisdom and knowledge. We're rich with that. We're not rich as far as financially, but we're rich with wisdom and knowledge, which is the absolute cure to what the world needs. We are on a mental cure, on a spiritual one at that, because so much will test you in these days and times, and he's been tested, and he knows, he's about to be he's about to have a new addition to his family. So I'm sure he has a lot of pressure on his back, having that, situation, and knowing that you gotta deal with all the bullshit coming your way, you know what I'm saying? And we just trying to get to a better place, you know what I'm saying? That's why, we call the album The Gods Have Arrived, because we feel like, I don't come with that Babylonian lifestyle. I don't come with that devilish mindset. We trying to stay positive.
Definitely. And one of, I think my favorite beat and production side is the Lean on the project. What's that?
Yeah, you told me that you like that one. Right. You told me that, right. Yeah. That song right there, yeah, Dot definitely went in on the verse. So I was happy to hear him back to his wild cowboyism. If you're a fan of Dot, the album has spurts of his history and my history together. And I feel like I was glad that I was able to capture that from him on Lean On. Shit he talking about on there about kids sipping lean and all that. And how he just feels irritated, you know what I'm saying? He just pissed off. Just completely pissed off. Just letting you know, like, when you sipping lean, I don't even want you next to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just had enough. When you can tell a person's had enough, he's had enough. Like, yeah, he gives you that incentive.
Well, speaking on your guys' relationship, one of the things with The Gods Have Arrived that I also enjoyed was the title track, where, talking about how you guys know each other and your guys' personal relationship. So, beat-wise, as you noticed that he was getting so personal, how, if at all, did the beats you were sending him or you guys worked on, did that change at all? Or did it...
Most of the joints that I sent him, I was here in LA at my boy AO City spot. We was just cooking up. We finished a few projects. We was just like, you know, I was in between doing different projects, and the beats that I had on deck, they were like, you know, I would say they was really coming on a grimy level. I was starting to master the sound before I lost the studio, and I was starting to master, you know, the way I wanted to hear certain things. And I was sending beats. Every beat didn't grab him, but he liked all of them. But it was just certain ones that we just wound up sticking with and rolling with. But that beat on The Gods Have Arrived, I had that beat before I even started the project. It was something that I thought I was going to use it. But then something told me this would be a dope intro for the album because it kind of balances everything out on the album, you know what I mean? And just showcases great production. You know what I mean? Showcases killer production, killer flows, killer styles. And that's what I like, you know what I mean? I like to make sure like the beat is dope, you know, and the concept is just as killer as the track. You know what I mean? And how we approaching it. You know, I just feel like The Gods Have Arrived was like, you know, yeah, we here. We tired. We tired of people overlooking us as, you know, top 10 MCs because of, you know, the way the capitalist society makes everything look. But I get respected by, you know, the same people that other people cheer about. So, you know, I just, you know, live a little different life than most other rappers do. You know what I mean? My life is not, you know, it's not about getting the chick. You know what I'm saying? It's not about rolling around in the fly whip. It ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for a whole nother purpose. You know what I mean? Like, and if I ever get to a level where I'm financially rich, I'm going to open me a business or something and fall back. You know what I mean? And then be remembered as one of the dopest producers, MCs ever. You know what I mean? But, you know, if you ain't checked the Ghostface project I did last year, you definitely need to check that out. Ghost Files. Another project right there I did for Ghost in 2 weeks. So, you know, I've been, you know, quietly building up a resume, whether, you know, I'm hot to people or I'm not. But to my fans, to my real fans, I am king. And that's what they call me, the GOAT. You know what I mean? And that's why I pay attention to. The people say that.
Right. You know what I mean? Well, speaking of that, let's take it back then, because the thing that impressed me in the 95 Wrap Your Lips Around This Ghetto Girl era was you were coming in as a rapper producer, basically standing on your own at that time. So, and it wasn't necessarily unprecedented, but it was very unusual. So what made you realize or think or believe or just do it that way to where that's how you wanted to come in?
Well, I was still finding myself, to be honest with you. I didn't really have I was experimenting way too much with marijuana at the time. And like, just like I was a pothead. I still am. But at the end of the day, you know, you know, when you're a kid, you know, you don't know the business the way you think you might know the business when you're young and you approached by 18 different labels trying to sign you. And that kind of confused me at first. You know what I mean? I felt like, I was like, I don't know. It's crazy. You know, when you come from the ghetto, come from nothing. And then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You getting approached by people with millions. So it was like that album was me dabbling with, you know, trying to figure myself out, still finding myself out. 22, 23-year-old kid, really young man, just trying to find himself. And, you know, I didn't really know who I was. That's why I changed my name. Like, and then part of the reason why I did that, I got stabbed in the tunnel one night. One night I went to the tunnel and I got stabbed in my neck. And I was going to see Busta Rhymes after. You know what I mean? I wound up almost dying. You know, and that's like that right there is like life-changing shit. You know what I'm saying? When you in the club and then some bullshit happen, you get in a fight and then you get stabbed, then you gotta get rushed to the hospital, you wake up in the morning on the table, you like, oh shit, you was just in the club last night chilling, nigga. Now you on the fucking, you know what I mean? Now you on the table, like it was that was probably one of the most traumatic things I ever went through, excuse me. And
what did you like? How did that change you? And what did you learn about yourself?
It humbled me out, made me stop going to clubs by myself, and I just was really upset, mad at the world. I ain't one felt betrayed because it wasn't something that I brought upon myself. I just was hanging with the wrong crowd. You know, when you're young, sometimes you hang with the wrong crowd. You know what I mean? You think that impress people, and then it wind up backfiring on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened to me. I was hanging with the wrong crowd.
Wow.
So, you learn a lot. I took that, that's like a scar that I look at like, man, you ain't supposed to be here. You know what I mean? I died and came back. That's what the doctor said. So I'm fortunate to still be here breathing another day. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Like, it humbles you out. It humbles your whole life out. Like, you start realizing what's most important and shit like that. Like, you start, like, realizing, like, clubbing ain't really that important to go lose your life. You know what I mean? The chick ain't, the fly chick ain't really gonna be the bulletproof vest somebody shoot your way, you know what I'm saying? She ain't jumping in front of the bullet. You there trying to impress her. Right. And then while you there trying to impress her, other dudes is scheming on you feel me? And that's how it is when you go to clubs, and that's what, I started wisening up. You know what I mean? After that. But yeah, that and Busta came to the hospital to see me, you know what I'm saying? I always thankful to him for even just being there for me. Like, he came to the hospital, made sure I was all right. I told him, I'm be all right, son. And he cried. Like, I'll never forget that. Busta cried in the hospital because I was supposed to go see him. We were supposed to go finish joints on the album. And I went to the club like a dumbass. But long story short, I'm still here. I'm blessed by, the gift of Allah. And, I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, flossing ain't really worth your life. You know what I'm saying? Going to check a chick in certain places that you don't know. You know what I mean? You just got your little budget, your advance. You want to go impress a chick somewhere you really like, but you going in the hood. Don't do it, man. It ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? You going to a club, you ain't got your mans with you, you ain't got security. Rappers say, oh, this is the bullshit that rappers do. Oh, I don't need security, I'm hardcore. That's the bullshit.
Right.
You need security nowadays, bro. You need security. And there ain't no pussy about saying that you need security. You saying, look, I need extra guard on my fucking life because I care about my life. That's what you're saying. You're not pussy because you got security around you. Now, that's some ignorant ghetto shit.
Yeah, in those clubs back in that era, I went to the tunnel in the prime around that time. I know it's no joke.
Man, what? If you was there, Yeah, exactly. And that's where I got hit up at. But that
super really, dark inside.
Yeah, that really showed me, woke me up. Like, don't be moving with your security no more. Don't go there by yourself. you're a known figure now. You can't be doing that. So now, after that, I'll never be going to clubs by myself.
Right.
The owner, if I do, the owner and their staff got me. You know what I mean? Make sure I'm good. Like, I'm not going anywhere by myself, ever.
Well,
There ain't nothing pussy about that. That's just me being safe because I love my life.
now also in a different lane, of course, but in that era too, you had got to work with Diamond D on the science fiction. So what did you early on in the game like that, getting to work with somebody like him, how did that help you and give you some perspective?
Well, Diamond is like Dr. Dre of the East Coast. You know, to me, he's the Dr. Dre of the East Coast. You know, West Coast had Dre. I always dreamed of working with Dre, but I could never get that close. You know what I'm saying? I never really got that plug until later on after the fact. But I still, bottom line was that me and Diamond, I respected his production, the D.O.C records that he did, Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop, one of my favorite albums. So I was like, yo, I want to work with this dude. You know what I mean? He got the beats I like, that I need. So he gave me science fiction, and I wound up playing that song. I didn't plan that song for that song to come out that way, but even though he did that joint, it wound up being one of the highest paid beats I ever paid to produce. Because I really wanted that beat. That beat was something different to me. I could have sworn I was on some other shit when Diamond gave me that beat. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Shout to Diamond D, and he worked on my other album.
You better not miss that.
He worked on my other album as well. The album I have called Aggravated.
Right.
So I'm glad that he was able to, be there in my career and help me. You know what I mean? Shout to Diamond D. Word up.
Yeah, he's the man. And then since you did do a lot of stuff with PMD and also the Hit Squad and EPMD and stuff, doing the Business is Business album with PMD, how did you get in the loop to connect with him in that level?
What are you doing?
Well, how did I get with PMD? Well, I was on tour with Onyx. And I wound up going on my own little, 2-week tour. Das Effects got wind of me. They came on my tour bus and asked to hear some beats. I played some beats and they heard one beat. That beat was Rough, Rugged, and Raw for PMD. And PMD came back on my tour bus and was like, yo, what's good? What are you doing? Roll with us. So, me being young and, I was like, yeah, this is it. You know what I'm saying? I wound up, touring with them, and they got me on the road. They took care of me. They made sure I was straight. But
Nice.
They didn't want to push me further. You know what I mean? I guess P just wanted to deal with himself at the time because he was tired of what happened with him and his squad, and I didn't get that same. I got the leftovers of what they left. When his squad left, I was getting the leftovers. I was grateful for the leftovers. Trust me, it felt good for a minute. It felt like I had a shot going big at that time. Then I was already with P. I'm like, oh, I'm doing records with P now? Oh, shit. But then I knew it was much more than that, than just doing records with P. It was really, is P getting paid off the shit that you're doing with him? And if he is, he's just trying to get paid off what you're doing on the business side. Because he's EPMD. And I learned the hard way. It is what it is. Like, I always respect Parrish for the learning. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to be a better businessman because he taught me how the way you should treat artists and how you shouldn't treat artists. I learned that from him.
Gotcha.
You understand? Like I learned that, like, and that's why I have my own independent through Empire Distribution right now, and joint labels with Fat Beats right now.
Gotcha. And then with the Crookie Monster thing, how did that, looking back, that seemed like it was a pivotal point in your career. So looking back, what do you think is the impact that had for you?
Well, you know, back to the joking side of myself, you know, I used to flip voices in my rhymes when I freestyled, and then Jonathan Schechter is the one that called me up one day, like, yo, you still do that Crookie Monster style? I'm like, yeah, I still can rhyme like Crookie Monster. He's like, I said, I still can use the voice and rhyme like Crookie Monster. You know, I just was just joking with him, you know what I mean? Just joking, I didn't really think he was serious. He said, yo, here's $5,000. How about you do a record with that voice rapping like you used to do? I said, where's the check? I said, just one record? You just want me to do? They say, yeah, I want to pull out a novelty record. Like, like a Sesame Street sort of record, but with raps on it. I was like, you're fucking sick. I was like, all right, we'll do it. And I went to his office, wrote the check out for me, and then I went back and he said, we're going to put you with Alchemist. So he got Alchemist. I went to Alchemist crib. I didn't know who Alchemist was, really. I ain't never heard of him. But I went to his crib at the time. And then we made the beat together, but he got the credit. But I told him how I wanted the beat because they wanted him to have some production hand in on it. I was like, all right, you know, that's what John wanted. So wound up getting that done. And then, yeah, John just was, you know, he always had the novelty. He always had novelty things going on, you know, with the girls, the game girls, all that. So he just felt like, well, let me just do this with him and see where we go with it, you know. And we were supposed to put out an album, but that never happened. But luckily, that turned into me doing Grand Theft Auto 3 with Sean Price, and the song wound up landing on that game, thanks to Stretch Armstrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it seemed like, even though it was a novelty record and it was weird, it also seemed to like give you another jolt as far as exposure and momentum.
Yeah, they did good. They did good album covers. Everybody loved the Game Girls on the album cover. That was the biggest thing I would hear about every album that would come out from, or single that came out from Game, was the girls on the cover. You know, I don't know if guys were perverted, taking them home, jerking off to them. I don't know what they was doing with the covers, but that's what a lot of people spoke about. So I guess John had his world inside of the world that we live in. That's what he is. He did. And, you know, amongst other stuff that he was into, you know what I'm saying? But shout to John, you know what I mean? John didn't have to call me that day. He didn't have to call me. I guess the joke, I guess it was just a joke that made him laugh, you know what I mean? And I guess we had a friendship because of the jokes. You know, me and Shaq would always have different views on life, but then we wound up laughing shit, you know, back in the Source days. Because I was unsigned Hype Cat, so he knows me that long. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Well, man, it's been great talking with you. So
yeah, likewise.
Yeah. Agallah, Don Bishop, thanks for coming through here to Unique Access, man. Always a pleasure chopping it up with you, man.
Yo, and I appreciate it, Soren Baker. Yo, thank you for the interview, man.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on your TV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the street. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.